But again, it's like you have to be obsessed, because if not, if you take it casual, it's gonna happen casually, you know. So I don't want that. I want it to happen now, because I need it now. I want to be an investor now. And all of the barriers that I created for myself was torn like really quickly on, you know. So my previous background, I used to own a beauty school. So I kind of had a big understanding about teaching and guiding people. So when I felt like I was a student and I had the right team, I knew that I would be much faster getting to my goals. But as well as I knew that it's not just the team, it's not just the program. You have to be, my mentality when I signed up for the team, and especially after the big investment, signing up for the mentorship for a year, was to a point of obsession. You know, I don't have time to lose. You know, I don't want to waste any more months of my life. This is what I want to do. This is a team that I want to do it. And Michael just provided me with all the tools and knowledge that I needed that was missing. So the moment I signed up, I became obsessed. I'm a mom. I have two small kids, 4 and 2 years old. My husband went back to work. Kyle is working, so he's in a prison right now. Poor guy. He's dying for us to make it big, because there's two sides of making it, right? One is your first deal, and another coin that I'm looking out for, that coin is a financial freedom coin, you know. So he is kind of holding us financially monthly, because the money is a long-term goal. It's not something that you close your deal and you quit. It's not quite like that. I could do it, but then it would be just like the flip that we did. We quit everything and it was a nightmare. I have to sell my car. So it's not the step that I wanted. So it was a big investment, and it is a big investment. And I didn't have the free time before kids, for example. So I made sure that every free time that I had, I was obsessed on learning, because meeting on the Dealmaker Mastermind, Dealmaker Life, I met other mentees, and they've been in the program for 3 months, 6 months, 7 months. So it depends. It depends. I believe that time from signing up to closing the deal is how dedicated you are, because they can only take you that far. You know, everything else has to be on your own. So I made sure, I remember binge watching all of the content, the educational videos within 2 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks I was done. And I just started because one of the sessions is to start taking steps. And I just stopped taking steps. I start calling. And one thing that stood out for me about the whole program is not, he didn't just give me the knowledge and the tools. He worked with my mindset, which is something that I took up on myself to teach others and to guide others if they want to be involved with this whole industry, is your mindset. Because as you can see, I have visible tattoos. I'm not from here. I'm a mom. And all of those things were roadblocks in my way to becoming a real estate investor, you know, because I had a pre-image of your regular guy, you know, your Wall Street guy, your suit up, Harvard kind of, you know, yeah. So I'm like, how am I gonna fit? It's like sometimes I will receive deal summaries, you know, deal summaries, executive summaries. And then you will see the pictures of the guys. And then I'm like, how am I going to fit in there? I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to block all of this and I'm just going to go for it, because I'm smart, I'm capable, and I'm doing everything. And I remember one of the first videos, content that I watched from the program, he said that. He said, to have a morning affirmation. So basically he was talking and I was writing down his affirmation. I just copied straight up. It's exactly the same affirmations that he had. And I posted everywhere in my house, in the bathrooms, in the kitchen. So anytime I saw that, I was making sure I was reading it out loud. And I said to my husband as well, every time you go in there and you see those affirmations, read it out loud. So that worked a lot. Like we just had that in the background, kind of. And obsession, just completely, just every single free time that you have to be reading and watching and taking notes and reaching out and actually taking the steps, because he can only take you so far.
And I love that. That's why, and I feel the exact same way, because speaking with other women and friends I'm trying to get brought up, there's nobody out there. I'm like, there's nobody here that looks like me. And I also have, I have a few tattoos here.
Yeah.
I have like 9 or 10 tattoos. Most of them are hidden because I'm also
Mhm.
in the corporate world. Okay.
Exactly.
And,
Mhm.
and so I completely understand. And I
Mhm.
always know most of the women that are in here because that's something that's very passionate to me is empowering women, which is one of the reasons
Yes.
I love Vina Jetty. Do you know who Vina
Yes,
Jetty
I
is?
know her. Yes.
Most
It's
women know
amazing.
she's so
Yep.
phenomenal, right? Oh yeah, and she was at Michael Blanc's event as well.
Yes,
So
I met her there. I stalked her. I'm
yes.
like, I need to meet you.
And I love that you said be obsessed because another guy, Grant Cardone, always said be obsessed or be
You have
average. And
to.
that's
You have
so
to.
true.
You
So
have
good
to.
for
Yep.
you.
Because people now think that, oh, you got your deal 3 months in. Yeah, but you didn't see the struggle that I went through. My mindset had to go through a whole struggle first, and then obsession came right after. Like all of the obstacles that I put onto myself, and I'm like, it's 2022. Like all of this corporate looking should just
Thank
go
you.
away.
Thank
And I
you.
actually embraced it, the fact that I will be a spokesperson for your everyday person wanting to
Yes.
be an investor, especially women, especially moms, because that's another thing
Yes.
that I was like, after I signed up, I came to my mom and I'm like, Mom, how am I going to do this? I just spent all this money. I have 2 small kids and they don't go to daycare and I still want to be a mom for them, how am I going to do this? And I had her help, my mom's help, which helped me a lot. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it work. And it's just going to present itself, the ways. And I became very organized, something that I'm always telling all the moms that ask me, like, how do you organize in your day? Like get your agenda, your planner, and just down to the hours and the minutes of your day, you just have it dedicated to something. I have time to play with my kids, time to go to the park, time to watch some more videos from Michael Blanc, time to connect with some investors. You just organize your day, and I follow it like very, very strictly. So that's how I could get it done. But again, it's like you have to be obsessed, because if not, if you take it casual, it's gonna happen casually, So I don't want that. I want it to happen now, because I need it now. I want to be an investor now. And all of the barriers that I created for myself was torn like really quickly on.
And you touched on something. So I feel like I'm talking to my sister from another mister over here. Because we have a his and her family, right? So I have 2 daughters as well, and I have a demanding corporate job. And people are like, well, how do you do this? And my husband, with my bonus daughters, there's one's going off to college and so 4 girls. So let's just put that out there. And people are like, well, how do you have time to do all of this? I'm like, you prioritize what's important. Okay.
Exactly.
I don't Netflix all the time. And like
I know.
I live and die by my calendar, even if I'm having lunch with my husband, who's also, in construction. And so I'm like, okay, I just live and die. And I kind of go through there and set my alarms. And if I don't want to do something, I set an alarm. I'm only doing it for an hour. Right. And you prioritize what's important. And to reverse you said something else earlier about how people didn't see the struggle and all they saw was, dang, she was in this for 3 months and boom, she had success. So I don't know if you've heard of Ed Milet or his book, The Power of One More.
Yes, I'm listening, because I don't have the locks to be
So
walking around with books. So I have to be changing diapers.
No, I
and
listen
playing.
to it on
So I'm
Audible
always with it in my ear.
Me too.
The
So I'm
power
doing like
of one more. Audible.
the boring
right
stuff around the house. I'm like
Yep.
educating myself.
And then sometimes my kid will ask me something. I'm like, space out, because I'm listening to the album. I'm like, oh, sorry. What?
I'm like,
that's how you get it done.
I think in my ear, I'm listening.
Yep.
So have you gotten to his analogy about the pinata?
Yes, exactly.
Right? So I'll let you talk about that then. So talk about the analogy he gives on the pinata, where it's people's version of your success.
Yes.
You recall it?
Yeah. So it's people, as I mentioned before, people don't see your success, and people don't see the struggle behind the success. And and even like, I feel even somehow embarrassed, but you should never dim your light to not outshine anyone. I know that, but sometimes this is a relationship business, so I want to be able to make connections and not be intimidated because that person feels like I am taking something away from them by being so quickly successful, but it is like that. Is the more you go after it, the more you hit the piñata, eventually the piñata will burst and you will get to eat the candies.
Yes, that's right.
So
That's right.
every day, every little thing. And it's exactly what Michael say in the program. You have to take actions after learning that, because if you wait until you're ready, you will never be ready. There is never going to be a perfect time, a perfect moon, a perfect the stars align. It's just stop. That's not going to happen. You just have to take chances and go straight up. Every little thing that you created in that piñata eventually will create a big hole, and then you can burst. So it's very important for you to be obsessed. I think that's the best name I can give. You have to be obsessed to be able to speed up your success and your way into your goals.